Hello, everybody. It is Spooktober on We Watch Shudder. We're going with it. Spooktober. I don't know. We're not going to promote it that way at all. I'm just going to keep calling it that for as long as I remember to call it Spooktober.
You're going to forget by the next episode.
Probably. Yeah, you're probably right. Welcome to We Watch Shudder, everybody. Thank you for joining us yet again in October, the 4th of October, as you're listening to this. The 15th of April as we record it. I am JD. Who's here with me?
It's Michelle.
It's always Michelle.
Always
yeah.
me.
So Michelle, if people for some reason are just tuning in for the first time to this episode, tell them what we're doing here.
We're watching Shudder, as the name implies.
Well done. Well done, Michelle.
By this point, we are a very established, famous podcast comedy duo that everybody is familiar with.
Right,
obviously.
You guys already know who we are.
You already know that we release episodes usually on Thursday of the latest Shudder exclusive or original. And for October, since we watch a movie or a horror movie every day in October, we decided let's release a podcast episode every day in October. So that's what we're doing. We're watching Shudder, y'all.
Yeah, but we smartly didn't wait till October to record all of them.
No.
We're all ahead of the game. Anyway.
Smart, and they don't know that.
Yeah. So should be October 4th as you're listening to this, or at least when it dropped in the movie we are talking about today is a Shudder exclusive release from 2019 called Bliss. Struggling through a creative rut, hard-partying artist Desi Donahue can't stop the bad streak. In an effort to combat her tough luck, Desi throws caution to the wind, indulges in heavy drugs, and rages her nights away. Gradually, though, the party starts to end, and in its place, Desi finds herself thirsting for blood and suffering from terrifying visions. A Shudder exclusive. Michelle. They got 4 skulls as the rating for this one on Shudder. Give us your spoiler-free thoughts and your skull rating, huh?
My spoiler-free thoughts are that this movie stars a very annoying, unlikable character, and then partway through, bad things happen to her, and the movie gets more watchable, so that's good. Did I like it? No. But do I think it's a good movie? Probably. I think it's just one of those that isn't my thing. Part of that is because I have epilepsy, so when you have a 5-minute scene that is just constant, colorful,
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
Had you not seen this before we put the list together?
I've seen it before. Here's the thing.
God.
I have petite mal, so I just blink out, which is why certain parts of this movie I just go I don't know what really happened. So it
fair.
Causes a medical situation, and I just kind of fall out of the vibe that they're going for. So with that said, I think it's probably a good movie. I don't really like it, but I will give it a 2.5, which I feel for me, it's a good score, but for others, I have a feeling that the 4 skulls is probably a more common reaction to it.
You are a far more friendly and reasonable and thoughtful rater than I am. I'm gonna tell you, 5 fucking skulls. I love this movie. Yep. I love it. You're not wrong. Desi Donahue, the main character, annoying as all hell. Oh my God. And we'll dig into that in the spoiler section. You are absolutely right. But and you're also absolutely right about, man, if you got bad epilepsy, you don't want to watch the opening title sequence is just strobing random bright lights for several minutes. And then they do that again throughout the movie. It's crazy psychedelic kaleidoscopic visuals. Definitely not for people with those situations. It's violent, it's brutal, it's a total head trip. It's intense. I loved everything about this movie. 5 skulls all the way.
Awesome.
So with your
perfect score.
Yeah, is the high. Yeah, it's certainly other movies that would be. Yeah, this is. I do that where I start one sentence and then move into another sentence right in the middle of it, expecting people to know what I'm talking about. There are certainly other movies that are on that same level, and some, honestly, that are significantly beyond. But yeah, so far as that 5 skull, I can't recommend this one enough. I love it.
Nice.
All right, guys. So that's the basic thoughts. If you want to now go watch the movie before we dig into the spoilers, this is where you're going to want to hit stop and go do that right now. All right. So, Michelle, why don't you tell me a little bit more about what didn't work for you about this movie, and then I'll tell you why you're wrong.
First off, I do have to say that we're going back and revisiting all these movies that you and I, for the most part, have seen. Mm-hmm. And I like when I watch a movie and I go, JD hates this movie. I just know it. Or like, JD loves this one. And as I was watching this, I was like, I bet this is JD's favorite movie. This is such a JD film.
It's so good.
Yeah, I think there wasn't really anything that didn't work for me. It's just not the kind of thing that I like. These really colorful, druggy montages.
What are you trying to say about me, Michelle?
I am not saying that you live a very colorful lifestyle. I'm saying that sometimes you black out for 24 hours and you paint a 10-foot tall masterpiece of people rotting in hell while you're naked and covered in blood. I just know you so well that I was like, this is a biography about JD's life. So yeah, like there was so much where I'm like, it's just well done, which is why I don't hate it. It's not the kind of movie that, this is my second time seeing it, and I had forgotten a good part of it, possibly because I was like having petite mal seizures and not remembering.
No, I literally have that thought every time I watch the movie. It's just like, man, and also somebody needs to send Shudder an email because there is no warning at the front of this movie, and there very much should be. Like it's chaos. So far as the lights and everything go, it's madness.
Yes. And one of the worst parts about that is the very last 5 minutes of this movie, I want to watch so badly. I try to like peek glimpses, but I can't watch the whole 5 minutes because I will black out. So I like this. And I think that says something about this movie, that even though I'm like, I might forget my name for a couple minutes, I still wanted to watch it. You know, there were still some parts that I was interested in, but for the most part, I was like trying to kind of multitask so that I didn't forget who I was.
Yeah. So, and obviously one of the things we said in the first part of the show about things that we definitely agree on in the movie. Tell me more about your disdain for Desi Donahue, the artist protagonist of this. I don't even know if protagonist is the right way to say it because, oh man, she's a piece of work.
I have known so many people who are exactly like Desi. I have many ex-friends who are exactly like Desi. Yep. Desi as a character drives me fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Dora Madison as the actress who plays her, good job. I hate you as this character. You did what I'm sure you were trying to do.
Oh, yeah, but she nailed it.
Oh my God, she's insufferable. And she's like, I am a starving artist, but I don't want to actually work. I just want to do drugs and be mad and say fuck. And all the time, like, I love the word fuck. She uses it too much. Like, that is how much I can't stand Desi. I cannot.
Yeah, she is.
Oh God.
She is a bohemian downtowner cliche to the nth degree. She's everything I hate about like just artsy fartsy people like that in general. Oh my God, she's the worst kind of awful. She's just mean to everybody for no reason, probably because she could stand to eat a sandwich. That's not a criticism of her size. It's a criticism of her obvious demeanor. I get cranky when my blood sugar is low. Eat a sandwich. You'll probably feel better. Also,
I mean, that's kind of what
stop
the second
shoving
half
the
is
black
about.
cocaine up your nose.
Yes.
I do. You're okay. So you're very right. There's a lot about this movie that is immediately appealing to me. I love the psychedelic elements of it, just the visual chaos. I really enjoyed that a lot. Also, I love that. Okay, so this is a vampire movie, right? Like,
oh, is it vampire, not zombie?
oh no, this is a vampire movie. Yeah, absolutely is vampires.
Oh, explain.
She talks specifically about how she has a craving for blood.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you caught on, but like the people that she was with are like they wear dark sunglasses at night and they look all gothy, and and also there's a moment where I don't even want to call him her boyfriend, her fuck pal. And when she kills him, there's a specific moment where he bites her lip as he's dying and drinks some of her blood. Right? It's a vampire idea, but what I loved about it is as you're progressing, I love the way like you don't really know for sure until you know, like, is she a vampire or is she just fucking whacked out on bath salts like that dude in Florida who ate that other guy's face? And it's but then you hit that moment where she has the fight with her fuck friend, and she's just like ripping chunks out of his neck, and then she grabs him by the head and almost rips his head clean off just with the strength of her tiny little artist arms. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is actually happening. This is not all a hallucination, and it's just off the deep end from there. It's savagely violent and gory. It's like she's certainly not sympathetic in any way, and I am frankly glad that she just literally explodes at the end of the movie.
She explodes? I don't think I saw that
part. Oh my God, you didn't see that?
It.
No, she just completely fucking explodes into a pile of mush. Oh yeah.
I'm seriously making a note that for the last 30 seconds, I'm going to get to that point, give my brain a rest, and then try to power through, because it really gets to a point where I cannot watch it, and I was so into it from the point that she breaks her whatever partner's neck on. Right. I had a hard time watching it. That's what I really wanted to watch.
Did you see a lot of the detail in... Oh, well, I guess there wasn't a lot of detail. It's obviously in darkness to cover up the special effects makeup. But how much of the sequence where she shoots herself did you see?
I saw all of that.
Yeah, and like that was intense. Because first of all, I was just like, oh my God, she's just and then she just like it heals up, and then she gets back up. That's the other thing. Zombies don't have a crazy healing factor like that, Michelle. That's
I know. And the second that you explained it, I was like, oh God damn it, he's right. They are vampires. Right. And I didn't even I don't know. I just always go person eating other person zombie.
No, but and that's also a part of it though. You're not far off, because in those early violent scenes, like she doesn't have fangs, and she's very clearly like biting these people and ripping chunks of their flesh out. So it's very much a stylized and sort of picks and chooses elements from things. But there's definitely that very specific craving for blood and the reproduction through exchange of blood. Frankly, there's nobody in this movie who's likable, and I'm glad this happened to all of them. They all deserved everything that happened to them. It's insanity. I love I just loved that concept of it's like this weird like cocaine PCP powder drug that they snort, but it's like coal black, and it leaves these weird black smudges on their face to go with the blood everywhere. Visually, aesthetically awesome. This fella Joe Bagos, who wrote and directed this movie, relative newcomer. He's got a couple of other features. He also did a movie that you can watch on Shudder called VFW. That is super cool. Just a really, really talented, fun, like it's splatter gore intensity with psychedelic fury, and I loved every second of it.
Yeah, I feel like if I was able to watch more of it, I would have liked it way more. And that's why I'm saying, like, I'll give it 2.5 because it's a middle. Like, I physically cannot watch this movie and appreciate it. And the parts I can watch, I hate her so much that it's really hard to power through. And then the parts that I'm really interested in watching, like the ending, I never saw her explode because I physically cannot watch that part of the movie. So I guess if you're like me, this movie is not for you. But if you like gore, plus I'm also not normally a gore person. Like I don't like gore.
I like it in the right context. Like gore in and of itself is not enough for me. But in the right context and the along with the right movie, like if the script is good and I'm into the story, then man, I wanna see some guts. I want to see people ripped apart. It's savage and it was super fun. I loved it. It was actually the first Joe Begos movie I saw, and is the reason I started checking out his other stuff. It's super 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 duper fun. Certainly not deep or reinventing the wheel by any means, but yeah, I just loved it.
Yeah, no,
I don't know what else I can say.
No,
Go watch Bliss if you. I don't know, man. It's so good.
As I watched it, like I said, I went like, JD loves this movie. Yeah, I can tell, and sure. That's why I had watched it when it came out on Shudder, and I did not remember much. And then as I was rewatching it to do this episode, I was like, oh, right, because I was probably having brain issues.
Out for half of the movie.
Yeah, so I was like, I didn't remember much, except it's about an unlikable artist doing drugs. That's all I remembered.
A couple of other things I also want to mention. I love the score for this movie. It's very much, for those of you who are familiar with those worlds, it's this drone sort of heavy metal, like loud guitars, but very long, pronounced drone sort of elements, and just adds a whole lot of atmosphere to the movie. Also, this painting that she's working on, toward, like, I don't know, but it would be an awesome cover for like a heavy metal album. Like it's super cool and creepy, and I liked that. All the design elements I thought were super rad. To me, this movie is what all them kids in Rent deserved.
Wait.
Rent is the only frame of reference I have for downtowner bohemian artist types who don't like who think that the world owes them something, and that's a terrible reference because it's actually a really really good show. But I like to pick on it because it's the only frame of reference I have.
I honestly didn't know if you meant people who are in musicals deserve to get torn apart, or if you meant like something about like the people who have AIDS in that movie needed this drug, because those are the two things I know about Rent.
Look, I didn't think this one through before I said it. It was my metaphor for bohemian downtowner art people.
Okay.
Please forgive me.
I mean, I think anybody who behaves like Desi, I agree.
She
is
worst.
So awful. As I'm watching this, I'm like, oh my God, I know exactly who she is. And I can't wait for bad things to happen to her. And I think that's partially why this movie works so well, is because they make her so unbearable that then watching her absolutely whine on the voicemail to her friends is just like kind of satisfying, of like, you're awful, and I love that this is happening.
Yeah, it's very much a matter. Like I said, I was a part of what I love about it is I think everybody in this movie gets exactly what they deserve, and it was super good. Not because they're drug users or artists or for any other reason than they're just annoying, awful people with terrible personalities. Except maybe the old men at the drug dealer's house, the drug dealer's dad and his buddies, they probably didn't deserve what they got. Norm from Cheers, he's in this movie. And then them other guys, I don't know if they're in anything. They're in Bliss, that much I know.
I do have to say that I'm annoyed that this entire movie is about what a good artist she is, and then she actually does make some good art. I hate that.
Right?
But I mean, it did take her becoming a raging, crazy vampire to do it. So it's not like she naturally had that talent. And I take comfort in that she was not a good artist at the beginning when she was completely insufferable, when she was just slightly more bearable and apparently could not die. That's when her art really came together. And I appreciate that she had to go through some stuff.
For sure.
Yeah.
So that was Bliss, guys. I loved it. Michelle was like, meh,
I physically could not watch it, or else I probably would feel a little bit better about it.
It is super intense in a number of ways. Definitely not for the faint of heart, but that's another one in the can. What are we doing tomorrow in October, Michelle? Not tomorrow in April where we are now. Tomorrow in October when we are then.
Are you asking that because I just watched the wrong movie?
No, actually, I was just giving you an opportunity to plug the next episode. But if you want to confess your sins so badly, I mean, you feel free.
I rewatched the wrong episode or the wrong movie. But anyway, the next episode will be The Room after I have an opportunity to watch it. And I had an opportunity and I watched the wrong movie. I did not watch the Tommy Wiseau movie, which I am very happy to say. I just watched the wrong Shudder movie. I did not mess it up that badly.
Also, I myself have never seen the Tommy Wiseau movie, The Room. And it's become such a thing to so many people now that I refuse to see it because nobody will cut me a break because I haven't. First of all, I think this idea of, it's just so terrible, it's great, that almost never flies with me unless it's a horror movie. I'll watch a stupid splatter flick all day long. But anyway, no, we're talking about The Room that you can watch on Shudder, because this is We Watch Shudder. And then what are we doing after that one, Michelle?
After that, we're watching a movie that I happened to watch today. And we'll be talking about that one, which is Scare Package.
Scare Package. That's an anthology film you will find on Shudder as well. Good times. More movies coming up in October. Also, we'll, of course, have our regular weekly new film episodes all month long. Keep an eye out for those. Thank you guys so much for joining us again. Say goodnight, Michelle.
Good night, Michelle.